On this first page of notes, we're first going to review some of your vocab words. So it says, visualize vocabulary. Use the check words to complete the diagram. You can put more than one word in each bubble. So the first check word over here on the side for review words says linear equation. So in this bubble, we see y equals mx plus b. That is the equation for linear equations. Whenever an equation can be written in this form, that means that it will be a straight line whenever you graph it. Okay, the next check word says slope. Hopefully you remember that the variable m stands for slope. Next it says slope-intercept form of an equation. That is y equals mx plus b. It's called the slope-intercept form because it first gives you the slope in front of the variable x, and then at the back will give you the y-intercept. The next one says x-coordinate, so I'm just going to put that in the x bubble. Y-coordinate in the y bubble. Y-intercept will go in this last bubble. B stands for y-intercept. Remember, the y-intercept is where the line is crossing the y-axis. So if it has a b or a number at the back, that means that it's non-proportional. It does not go through the origin. Okay, for our x-coordinate, let's go ahead and label it as input. We talked about that whenever we did functions. The y was the output. For our x-coordinate, we're going to label it the independent variable. We also have a dependent variable, but one way that you can remember that x is always the independent variable is because x stands for input, and input and independent variable start with in. So that leaves me for the y to be the dependent variable. So this y value will depend on something that the x is doing. At the bottom, for understand vocabulary, it says complete the sentences and use the preview words. Number 1, a set of data that is made up of 2 pair variables. So I have these two, and it's going to be bivariate data. So since it says 2, I know that bivariate will have 2 variables. So we'll have an x and a y. Number 2, when the rate of change varies from point to point, the relationship is a blank. So I know that rate of change is the same thing as the slope. So it's saying that the slope varies from point to point. So my slope could have been positive, but now it's negative. So if I have this, that is a nonlinear relationship. Okay, before going on to the next page, make sure that this one is completely filled out with everything that I wrote.